Hello, everybody, and welcome to The Final Score. I'm your host, Nicholas Marcinov, and today we are going to be talking about our Week 4 predictions. Let's go ahead and take a look at last week's rankings. So if anybody has been following us and the channel, you all know that I am currently in the lead, but right behind me is Chris, Tanner, DJ, and unfortunately Ben. Ben is struggling quite a bit. And I really don't like the pressure that Chris is currently putting on me. I don't like him breathing down my neck like this. Chris, you need to back off. But with that in mind, today we are missing DJ and Ben. But that doesn't mean that we are all missing. I am joined by the moist content himself, Chris, and the bandwagoner, Tanner. Say hello, everybody.
What
What's
up?
up,
What up?
guys? What's going on?
At least it ain't a Brady jersey, but you know what it is.
It's the same Dolphins shirt for the past 4 weeks.
I got that White Saints.
Patriots. I'm hoping to win that money at the end. Hoping to win that thing so I get me another jersey.
Bro, it is a jersey. It's not money. I'm not giving you guys my credit card.
Oh, shucks.
This is money though. You could trade this. It's considered currency.
That's true. All right, well, let's go ahead and get into it. No more wasting any time. We have the Thursday night matchup. It's the Denver Broncos going to New York to take on the Jets. Chris, you're going to talk about it. Let's hear it.
What's up, Jets fans? Do your balls hurt enough this week? If they don't, they're going to hurt this week because the Broncos are coming to town and they're going to be kicking you guys in the balls. Now, I say that because Ben's not here. And ultimately, the Broncos, even though they're 3-0, or no, not 3-0, 0-3, just like the Jets themselves, I'm going to go with the Broncos. They just have the best team. And like Nick said last week, I don't think I'll ever be picking the Jets this season.
Fair enough. Tanner, what do you have?
Look, man, when you're going up against the GOAT, the greatest of all time, Tom Brady, you can't even expect to win. So everyone's going to talk about, oh, Broncos lost to the Bucs. Of course they're going to lose to the Bucs, bro. But in my term, Jets are pretty bad. I can't wait to talk about the Giants, bro. I wasn't here last week. I said you guys replay said I was a disappointment. I was very disappointed, but we're going to get onto that later. But I'm going with the Broncos.
Okay, so 2 Broncos picks. If the Jets were going to win any game this season, it is going to be this season. They're going up against perfect 0-3 team. This is going to be the season where the Jets fans say, no, our balls aren't going to hurt. At least not as bad. Give me the Jets this week. I'm not even confident saying that. I'm just glad that we don't have to watch it because it's on the NFL Network. Next game of the week, Sunday's first game, is the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Houston Texans. Tanner, I want to hear all about this matchup.
You know, this is going to be very interesting. You got 0-3 on both teams. You know, we're really seeing who's the worst of the worst coming out. Definitely, though, you got Titans. You know, they beat the Vikings last week 31-30. But what I really want to see is there going to be a delay of game, and are they going to push this game due to COVID reasons because they played the Titans? So I don't know if that's going to have an effect on the team. We don't really know what's going on. We don't know who's going to be out. But between the Texans and the Vikings, honestly, I still kind of believe that wild card feeling. I'm going to give it to the Vikings.
Okay, and that's fair. This game really does feel like a matchup because, again, these are 2 0-3 teams. But because of the COVID outbreak from the Tennessee Titans, Minnesota wasn't able to go to their training facility until Thursday. And so I think that's going to play a big part. You know, they're not going to get as much training time. So give me the Houston Texans to win this game. Oh, I don't have their logo because I've never picked them before. Oh, well, I'm picking the Houston Texans. Chris?
Well, I know he's watching, so Ben, I hope your balls hurt enough because they're going to get hurt even more. I'm going to go with the Texans. I know last week they got beat by the Steelers, but the Vikings just they are not looking good this season. I'm sorry. They do not look good.
No. A lot of these teams do not look good. But we can't talk about that right now. We are on a mission, guys. Next up, we have the New Orleans Saints going to Detroit. This matchup is near and dear to my heart because, I am a Saints fan and I love the Saints, but they have not been playing well at all to the point where I'm starting to wonder what is really wrong. And whenever I look at it, what's really wrong is they can't get out of their own way. Now, Detroit is coming off of a good game against the Arizona Cardinals, intercepting Kyler Murray 3 times. And so the defense is starting to look a little bit better, but it did come down to a last-second field goal. But with that in mind, I'm going to still have to go with my Saints. I think that they're just a better team in general. And this is going to be the get-right game. Unfortunately for the Lions, I don't think they're going to pick off Drew Brees 3 times in a game. Chris, do you have anything to go against me?
Well, I really don't, because, like you said, it was a last-minute field goal for the Lions last week to win. 3 interceptions, yeah, they could get that off of Kyle, whatever his name is. Kyler can't speak today. They could get it off of him, but like you said, I don't think they could get it off of Drew Brees. They haven't looked good up until now, and I don't think this is going to be a game that they're going to look good in so far just by looking at it. The one thing that kind of makes me not feel comfortable picking the Saints is that what's his name? What was the name of the – yeah, Thomas is still questionable for the game. It's going to be rough without him, but if he comes back, the Saints will have no problem.
Let me just point out that last week, Drew Brees really started to take on Emmanuel Sanders, so I feel like he's starting to really open up. But this is just me being a Saints fan. I'm not going to try and influence your pick or anything. Tanner.
So for me, Lions barely scraped by last week. 2 field goals. They barely scraped by. If they were back another 5-10 yards, I don't think we'd have a Lions win right now. But, you're going up against Drew Brees, very, very veteran quarterback. I think all around a better team. Anyone can agree with me on that. I'm going to give it up to the Saints.
All right. Finally picking the Saints. I love you, Tanner.
Yeah, first time.
Time.
Maybe the last time, but we'll see.
Oh, I don't want to hear that. Okay. Well, the next matchup. Tanner, you're going to be talking about this one as well. It's the Los Angeles Chargers going to Tampa Bay to take on Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. Tell us how this hurts your bandwagon heart.
All right, so let me lay it down. Every time I hear LA Chargers, I think it's weird. To me, it's San Diego Chargers, but, side note, digress on that. However, Chargers again, bro, they blew it in the 4th quarter. They seemed very good. They were driving very hard down the field, and then they blew it. So against the Panthers. Bucks, they did well. They played the Broncos, and I think kind of the whole how would you say it, friendship, kind of companionship on the Buccaneers is getting better with Gronk and Brady. I think they're really assimilating themselves with the team. They're getting things together. So, to me personally, I think the Chargers are going to blow it once again, and I got to give it up to Brady, and I got to give it up to the Buccaneers.
Fair enough. I, too, cannot go against Tom Brady. Justin Herbert, he's actually been a little surprising, but it's everybody else around him who's just not that great, whereas Tom Brady is surrounded by Mike Evans, Gronk, Chris Godwin, Leonard Fournette. So much better weapons. Give me the Buccaneers. Chris?
Man, I was at work and I was raging at this game. Man, I had the Chargers losing. No. Yeah, no, I had the Chargers losing.
We all had the Chargers winning.
Did we?
Yep. That was a game where we all got swept.
Oh, well, I still don't think that that they're going to do too well. They lost to the Panthers, which, like Tanner said, they blew in the 4th quarter. I really can't say much anymore to that, but give me the Buccaneers.
All right, so Buccaneers sweeping this game just between the 3 of us. Let's go ahead and move on to our next matchup. I like this one. It's the Jacksonville Jaguars going to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals. You guys need to just sit down and let me tell you, the Jacksonville Jaguar. Here, let me just go ahead and do this. The Jacksonville Jaguars are going to roll ass all over the Cincinnati Bengals. Gardner Minshew is going to look like a stud. The rookie running back, James Robinson, is going to go off against the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow, that tie is the closest thing you're getting to a W this week. So congratulations on your tie. You didn't win. Chris, let's hear it.
Man, to lose again, not lose, but tie against the dumpster fire Eagles. I'm gonna have to give it to the Jacksonville Jaguars and Gardner Minshew too.
I did not do a good job analyzing this game as much as I did just talk about my love for the Jaguars. So
it's totally fine. I mean, Bengals, it's just not their season. I don't think Burrow's gonna get that. As DJ says, that nice sweet cigar for a victory.
No, it's not with that O-line. Their O-line is actively trying to kill him. Tanner, who's your pick?
I mean, I would pick the Bengals, bro. I've been with Joe Burrow since the start of the season. I'm like, he's coming fresh out of college. He's going to be eager. He's going to do well. But, I mean, you calling him trash, he's definitely not going to come on the show now. But, I mean, it's such a disappointment to me, bro. Like, I really thought we could see something kind of come out, kind of like how – but anyway, man, I had it in here. I got to give it up to Jacksonville Jaguars. They kind of surprised me a little bit last week getting blown out by the Dolphins. But then again, I got to give it up to the Jaguars.
This, again, is another matchup that I feel like can go either way because Joe Burrow has shown so many flashes of being such a great quarterback, but it's just, the weapons around him. Okay, with that in mind, let's go ahead and move on to our next matchup. It is the Seattle Seahawks going to Miami to take on those slippery little Dolphins. Chris, let's go ahead and hear about these wannabe whales.
What's up, Dolphins fans? If there are any out there. Did you like that sweet victory? Did you like that sweet victory last week? Well, good, because that's the only one you guys are going to get this season.
Okay.
Tanner. His own team. Jeez. At least he's honest. I'll never be that.
There's really not much to say about this game, but Tanner, please.
Look, I don't have nothing to say, bro. I really don't. You guys already know where I'm leaning. You know how I am. And you know what? I'm going to show the same photo like I always show right here, but I got to give it to – oh, wait, it's reversed. I got to give it to these guys right here. I'm going to go Seahawks.
Oh, wow. Lockett's been on the team for a long time. I haven't realized that. I thought he came into the league like 4 years ago. But with that in mind, I don't know why that would help make a decision at all. But Russell Wilson is playing out of his mind. He's winning games for the Seahawks. Their defense looks good. Ryan Fitzmagic looked awesome as well, but that was against the Jacksonville Jaguars and the defense that really can't stop a nosebleed too much. So give me the Seahawks to just kind of run away with this one, unfortunately. I'm sorry, Chris.
Okay.
I don't know why I always apologize.
Hey, maybe next year, bro.
Or the year after that.
We'll see how they are in 10 years. We'll go.
Hey, maybe Joe Burrow will get on the Dolphins. We'll see a miracle.
Possibly.
That would be interesting. Moving on to the next matchup, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers going to Tennessee to take on the Titans. Now, there is a little contingency with our picks for this game, and it is if this game actually gets played. The Titans, a lot of players came out testing positive. I think it was, 3 players or 8 players or 10 personnel.
And like a coach or something.
Yeah, just a whole bunch of people tested positive for COVID-19. And so the league postponed the game till either Monday or Tuesday, but depending on the outbreak and how the next round comes back, this game might not be played at all. Also with this game, the Tennessee Titans have not impressed me with their wins. I know they're undefeated, but I would classify them as the same as the Bears, where they are not an impressive undefeated team. They narrowly beat the Broncos when their kicker wasn't good. They narrowly beat the Jaguars, who almost came back on them. And then they barely beat the Minnesota Vikings by 1 point. This is not an impressive team to me. Whereas the Steelers, yeah, they've also been playing pretty bad teams, but at least they've looked convincing. Another factor to it is the Tennessee Titans, because of the outbreak, have not been able to practice this week. It has been nothing but Zoom meetings. And so with that in mind, you can't go up against the Steelers without practicing at all. This is a team that you probably want to practice more for. So give me the Steelers to just kind of dominate this game against the Tennessee Titans. Chris?
This is one of those games where I kind of had trouble deciding, but then again, I kind of looked at who each team played, and I decided like what their scores were. And overall, I think the Steelers have a better edge against the Titans, just because the sheer fact, yeah, they've played, crappy teams like the Jets and the Broncos and stuff, but they're outscoring the other teams by a lot more than 1 point or 3 points or 2 points, whatever it may be. So I'm going to have to go with the Steelers on this one.
Yeah, I agree. Tanner?
Yeah, kind of same thing you guys are saying. You know what? Honestly, they may not even play this game at all. They may just not postpone it because it depends. If you have another opportunity like this in the NFL where you're having teams get tested positive for COVID, they may just push back the game, and even depending on the record, they just may screw it if neither of them are going to make playoffs. And what's the point of them playing the game? You got to think about that too. But if it was going to happen, based on what both of you said, and I got to give it to the Steelers. I mean, they're healthy. They're practicing. If you're having football practice over Zoom, I don't know how well that's going. I mean, you could play Madden all day, bro, but that's not going to help. You can't bring your Xbox controller on the field, so there's no point.
I mean, you can, but it's probably not, smiled upon.
Yeah, you can't double XBA in real life, bro. You're not going to do a spin move.
That was good. Moving on to the next matchup. It is my second favorite team, the Cleveland Browns, going to Dallas to take on one of my most despised team, the Cowboys. And Tanner, I want you to talk about this terrible team because I hate having their name even in my mouth.
Which one, the Browns or the Cowboys?
The Cowboys, of course.
Oh, I mean, Browns beat the Washington football team 34-20. Cowboys, arguably, I would say, is one of the biggest bandwagon teams. They're definitely the favorite team on Thanksgiving. I'll tell you that much. If you don't know about football, you're a Cowboys fan on Thanksgiving. But Browns been playing really well. Cowboys have been surprising me a little bit. But they did lose to the Seahawks 31-38. Not so much, that wasn't really a surprise to anybody. But I think it was a high-scoring game, though, 38-31, though. So the Cowboys are showing a little bit better. But, then again, the Browns played Washington football team. They're not that great. You know what? I'm going to give it up. Oh, I almost didn't. Oopsie. Where is it? I don't even have a thing for it. I'm going with the Bears. I don't have a bear in front of me, but I'm going with the Bears.
I mean,
it's the Browns and Cowboys.
No, the Browns. See, what I was going to tell you was the picture I was about to click was the Bears, and I'm like, that's not the Browns. And then that's why I said Bears right there. But I'm going with the Browns. All right. That's my pick.
No, Tanner, you don't have to explain yourself. You're predicting a WWE type run-in where the Bears all have like steel chairs and they start smashing.
They're gonna march in. Yeah, they're gonna march in during the third quarter. They're right after halftime. You're gonna have 3 teams come out.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to just cash in their money in the bank for this game.
You're gonna have all the smoke come out, and you're gonna hear like the Undertaker song, the ding with the bell and stuff, and they're gonna come out.
Oh God.
They might even do that for the Titans. They might sub for the Titans this week and do that. Come out with a special performance.
Oh man. Okay. Well, for me, being a Browns fan, so let me ask you this: do you guys realize that had Dallas not made that miraculous comeback, that they'd be 0-3? You know who can pass on the Dallas Cowboys? Every single team. And you know who has two of the deadliest receivers in the AFC North? The Cleveland Browns. Give me the Browns to dominate this game. But the Cowboys are going to get a chance to come back in it. I think that Browns are going to lead early. Cowboys are going to come back because that's totally a Brown thing to do. Chris.
Now you see, I'm looking at my picks that I picked for my thing for work. Me and my boss both agreed to go with the Dallas Cowboys for some reason. I'm thinking to myself, why?
The Browns are 2-1. They are above 500 for the first time since 2014.
I think the only reason we picked them is because they're at Dallas, so that might have been the reason. But I don't see Dallas coming from this one.
This time it will be OBJ taking the dump on the Cowboys.
Talk about taking a dump.
Next game, we have I should have let you talk about this one, Chris. It is the that nice dry rub Arizona Cardinals going to Carolina to take on Teddy Bridgewater and the Panthers. So Arizona Cardinals are coming off of a loss to the Detroit Lions. Panthers are coming off of a win to the LA Chargers. The Panthers are without Christian McCaffrey. And honestly, that kind of helped Teddy Bridgewater because Teddy Bridgewater is not the quarterback who wants to just throw to Christian McCaffrey. Teddy Bridgewater is a game manager. And so if he has all of the weapons available, we saw it in New Orleans where he was passing the ball around evenly and managing the game. He was getting the check down. He was looking efficient. It was the Panthers defense that almost let the Chargers come back and win it. The Cardinals, Kyler Murray, he's still developing. He's still growing, but he has a lot of good offensive weapons. But for me, in this week's pick, I'm going to say that the Arizona Cardinals are going to bounce back and win this game against the Carolina Panthers. Chris?
Well, they're not in Arizona today, so the dry rub isn't there technically. But they are in Carolina where it's nice and moist. I'm still going with the Cardinals, though.
I was going to say they're pretty humid in Carolina.
Oh, they are. It's nice and moist over there.
Yep. Tanner, how's the air in Carolina?
I'll tell you what, man. I got to wear, I don't even know what to call it, bro. Basically, I can't step outside. I got an umbrella. They're going to call me a UFO. I'm going to get lifted up. You got hurricanes coming in. You got high winds. I'm just going to get taken out. But speaking of getting taken out, I think the Cardinals are going to take out the Panthers. I mean, the Panthers, in my personal opinion, should be 0-3 right now. The Chargers they've always had the ability to do it, but they just choke real bad. It's like eating a Popeye's biscuit with no water. They just choked real bad in that fourth quarter. So, but for me personally, kind of piggybacking off everything you say, Panthers defense, they're not that good. They almost gave it up to the Chargers in the fourth quarter, but I'm going to give it up to the dry rubs themselves, as Chris says. I'm going to give it to the Cardinals.
We're about to talk about this next team, but just as like a small little transition is, yes, the Chargers keep blowing fourth quarter leads and they can't come back. And it's like they get so close and they just can't do it. And everybody was saying it's a Phillip Rivers thing, but now with Justin Herbert, it kind of feels the same a little bit, but we'll have to see. He's only played 2 games, so we'll have to really see if God truly hates the Chargers. Our next matchup of the night is Indianapolis Colts going to Chicago to take on the Bears. And Chris, you're going to be talking about this one.
Oh, boy. The Bears. there is an imposter among us, as a lot of people have been saying lately because of the whole Among Us trend. And you know what? Last week, Philip Rivers looked good. I think I don't really remember what I'm like. I'm running off of being up since 3 o'clock in the morning, but um, the Colts, honestly, I think have what it takes to actually give the Bears their first loss of the season. Just because, I mean, if it was Mitchell Trubisky, I think it would have been a little bit more of a blowout for the Colts. But because it's Nick Foles at quarterback this week instead of him, I think it'll be a little bit tougher because Nick Foles always knows how to bolster the offense somehow. It's I would say that the Colts would be choking on something, but I don't think this week. I don't think it's going to be this week, and I'm going to say give me the Colts.
Okay, Tanner.
I was just talking to my boy Brendan right now. I mean, he's a Colts, blank writer, hardcore, bro, every day, all day. But like, he's telling me his reasons. Actually, as he's texting me right now. He says, they're starting Foles this week, but he says the defense is killing it. But honestly, I'm gonna do this one for him because I wasn't able to say it on camera last week personally. But I'm gonna go with the Colts on it. I think the Colts are gonna give the Bears the first loss this week.
Okay, and what was your buddy's name? Brennan?
Brendan.
Brendan. What's up, Brendan? I'm glad that you're enjoying our content. Love the support, buddy. I know that's not what Tanner was just saying, but it's nice to know that you got friends, Tanner. And I think Philip Rivers has a lot of new friends in Indianapolis who haven't allowed a sack in 2 of the 3 games. That's going to take away Khalil Mack real fast. Give me Philip Rivers to win this game. And then, because of the stunned silence, we're just going to go ahead and move on. The next matchup, we have the Baltimore Ravens going to the Washington football team. Tanner, break it down for us.
All right. I know everybody that watched. If you didn't watch a single game last week, who would watch the Washington football game? I'm talking about the Ravens versus the Chiefs. That was game of the week. Didn't go as expected as many of us thought. It would have been a lot closer than what it was. However, though, totally lost my train of thought for a second. Basically, 34-20, right? I forgot the score in my head. I was like, I knew it was 30-20. Lamar Jackson didn't play as well as I thought, but however, when you play, against Patrick Mahomes, you play against that really good defense that they had, he didn't do as well as he thought, but I don't think that's going to reflect in this upcoming game against the Washington football team. They're 1-2. The Ravens are 2-1. Obviously, Ravens going to go very far this year. Every year they play, they get better. Number one. Weren't they the number 1 seed last year?
The Ravens,
Yeah.
They were the number 1
the number 1 seed. They're not necessarily playing like the number 1 seed this year, but I still think they got potential. But like I said before, somebody call 911. It's going to be a murder out there. I'm going to give it up to Baltimore, bro. Right here, my team. Or not my team, but right here. This is how it's going to look after the game.
Yeah. The Baltimore Ravens, they lost to the Chiefs last week, and this week if the COVID outbreak happened to the Ravens and they only had to practice on Zoom, they'd still beat the Washington football team. Chris.
Man, it's the Washington football team. I mean, who in their right mind picks the Washington football team to beat the Ravens? I mean, come on.
How dare you say that? They're a division leader.
Missed it. I missed it. Look at this. This was the photo I was trying to talk about. This one is someone called 911, bro. It's going to be a crime scene. They're going to have the yellow tape everywhere. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah, it's going to be a murder. I feel bad for Washington fans, but get good.
Get good, but
Get good, yep. Moving on to the next matchup, we have the New York Giants going to LA to take on the first team back in LA, the Rams. Nick, break it down for us. Thank you, Nick. And by the way, you are looking good. Am I? Yes, you are. All right, so clearly this is not a game anybody should really subject themselves to. The Rams almost came back being down 28-3. They almost pulled the Patriots, and then they got pass interfered by themselves. That was funny. The New York Giants, God, they're really just the underbelly of the NFL, and it makes me wonder if they win the first overall pick, are they even going to use it on Trevor Lawrence, who seems to be the unquestioned, first overall draft pick this next season? And I don't know if they would. I think they would just fumble that pick as well. But give me the LA Rams to get right against the Giants. Chris?
Look, the Giants suck.
Yep.
And I'm not talking just the baseball team. I'm talking about the football team too.
Oh.
I mean, it's just like the Jets. Like, I don't think I'll ever be picking the Giants this year, to be honest. It's just they are not looking good at all, especially with Saquon Barkley out. Like, yeah, again, who will pick the Giants this year?
Let me just toss this one out to you. The Giants and the Washington football team are in the same division, so we will have that matchup twice.
Ugh.
It's going to be a tie both games. It's going to be a tie.
Speaking of your pick, Tanner, what's your pick?
All right, listen, I said it. Well, I didn't say it, but I wrote it rather. I cannot believe the Giants lost to the backup squad of the 49ers. I mean, like, that is the most embarrassing thing. If I were the Giants, I would just say everybody on the team's got COVID. That's a more honorable way to go out than the way they're going to go out not winning a single game this season. I mean, you had the 49ers straight up going out to the Pride Parade, pointing at people, say, I need you to come and play for us this week. That's what happened, and they still lost. So, bro, you could put Nancy Pelosi as quarterback, have a celebrity appearance, and the 49ers still would have whooped the Giants. So, I mean, in all honesty, bro, you got to give it up to the Rams. That's just how it is. That's just how it's going to be.
Yeah, the Rams are going to super punch the Giants right in their balls. The Giants fans are just going to get destroyed. All right, well.
Honestly, bro, they might call it a hate crime, bro. Depending on how bad the game goes, bro.
Damn.
Oh, God. But that's the thing is, like, the Rams don't hate the Giants. The Giants just hate themselves. Is that a hate crime?
The Giants hate themselves and their fans, so they're just going to kick their fans in the nuts.
Yeah, the GM of the Giants is thinking, like, man, can we get Eli back?
Yeah.
At least we would have won one game by now. All right, well, speaking of Eli, moving on to the next matchup. It's the New England Patriots going to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. Bandwagoner, let us hear your thoughts.
All right, this is going to be the game. I mean, I always watch my Patriots every week, but this is a game I'm going to sweat a little bit in. Maybe I'll sweat because it'll be hot. Maybe I'll sweat because I'll be a little bit nervous. But you know what I mean? Patrick Mahomes played very well against the Ravens last week, and the Patriots did too. Cam did very well. I think he got one rushing touchdown. And you guys see that Burkhead? Did you see Burkhead dive last week? That diving, I actually sent it in the group chat, diving over and getting a touchdown, which was very good. My boy Edelman, he caught some nice passes, went up. It's going to be a close game. Honestly, in my heart, I think the Chiefs are going to win, but I can't do that, bro. You know me. I just can't do it. Like, it's just I think Super Cam's going to pull something out. He's going to talk to Edelman, Burkhead. They're going to get it going. So I'm going to go with the Patriots, believe it or not.
This past week, Cam Newton was asked, why haven't you moved your family to New England? And his response was, for me, this is a business trip. So Cam Newton, clearly, he just is trying to prove his worth, and so he's going to try hard. Unfortunately, Patrick Mahomes isn't going to have to try hard. Give me the Chiefs. Chris?
Okay, so last week the Chiefs pooped on the Ravens. And the day after the game, this happened.
Yeah.
So if you can
Oh.
see, Lamar Jackson is their baby right now. So, I'm gonna have to give it to the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes was super good in that game. Their defense is looking good. Kept Lamar Jackson from doing any running or any passing. Oh yeah. I'm pretty sure next week I'm gonna have to change this to Cam Newton.
Can we just take a moment, just really quick, and reflect on how we all picked the Ravens to beat the Chiefs? I went so far as to say the Raiders were the best team in the division, and the Chiefs must have watched our video because there was only about like 50 people who watched, so it was probably the entire team who were just like, who are these guys? They made us look so stupid.
Yeah, that was a very shocking game.
I think they had like weapons. They had, a whole metal detector. They didn't let the Ravens come with the 9mm to that game. They upped up security, so I think maybe that's why the Chiefs won.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, well. Ooh, this is a fun game right now. Let's talk about the Buffalo Bills going to see the Las Vegas Raiders. Chris.
Ooh, Bills and Raiders. Let's see. Who do I have winning? The Raiders. Sounds about right. The Bills really haven't been looking too good to me at all. They've just been barely winning, kind of like how the Titans have been barely winning their games. The Raiders lost to New England last week, which is a heart-wrenching game for them. But I mean, what can you expect when a lot of your team is like either fresh rookies, second year, third year players. But I don't know, against the Bills in Las Vegas, I'm going to give it to the Raiders this week.
Okay, fair enough. DJ's very happy right now. Tanner?
Bills are doing good. They're 3-0, but honestly, the only hard team, sorry, Chris, the only hard team they've played is the Bills. You know what I mean?
Bills played the Bills?
I'm sorry, the Rams. I got really drunk last night, bro. After the debate, the drinking game messed me up. I went to bed at 9:00, bro. I woke up at like 5:50 a.m., 6:00. So I've been up all day, and I've never gone up there in a long time. So my memory is, what I'm saying. Don't take me seriously. Don't place your bets on me. But what I'm saying is that the Bills have not played that many difficult teams this season. I think we can all agree. Besides the Rams, they played the Jets. They played the Dolphins. Sorry, Chris. But they're gonna come up against a pretty tough game, I think, this week against the Raiders. And Raider Nation, they always got something about them. They make you scared. They make me definitely scared. I don't want to drive to Oakland, bro, especially if I was wearing a Chargers, bro. I'm going to bring a cross. I'm going to bring holy water. I'm going to pray right before I enter the city. I thought I had a background for this, bro, but give it up to the Raiders, bro.
Wow. Okay, so both of you guys are picking the Raiders. I am not. I'm picking the Bills, and I'm sorry, DJ, but I'm also not sorry. The Bills look good to me. I know, Chris, you were saying that they don't look good. They almost let the Rams come back from being up 28-3, as previously mentioned. And for me, they looked great through 3 quarters. And, the Falcons will tell you that means everything. But I think that they'll be able to do the same defensive dominance that really just shut down Jared Goff last week in the beginning to Derek Carr and the Raiders. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to pick the Bills against the Raiders. All right, moving on to the next matchup. It is the Sunday night game. Yep. It is the Philadelphia Eagles going to San Francisco to take on the 49ers. What can I really say about these two teams? These two teams are plagued with injuries. Nick Mullins is going to be the starting quarterback of the 49ers from what I believe. I haven't heard that Jimmy Garoppolo is coming back. Carson Wentz is going to be the quarterback of the Eagles, but he's getting no help. The Eagles look so bad. Miles Sanders is decent, but he's not going to win the game for the Eagles by himself. And the 49ers all have backups playing right now. And you know what? Those backups were good enough to beat both New York teams. And so give me the 49ers. I think the 49ers are going to take advantage of an Eagles team that are just as banged up as they are. Chris.
Look, if you could tie with the Cincinnati Bengals, you're not going to beat the backups that beat the Giants last week. I'm sorry. No, it's just not possible.
Tanner.
I mean, when you look at it, like, the Eagles, like, they, can't beat Washington or the Bengals. How are they supposed to, play against the reigning NFC champions? I mean, even if they are, like, really banged up, I mean, like I said before, bro, 49ers going to go out to the Pride Parade and just pull a couple big guys in there and just stick them down, replace the injuries. I mean, I said before, bro, get Pelosi. Hell, even call Newsom up, bro. See if Newsom wants to play for some publicity. I know he's not very hot right now, but if he started for the 49ers, I mean, it might get somewhere, bro. That's a good idea. But anyway, I got to give it up to the 49ers. My little pick right there. Got to give it up to them, show what it is. But no, I think the 49ers are going to take it over the Eagles for sure.
Yeah. This is another game that I can see going either way. I can see Carson Wentz finally getting straight and winning the game for the 49ers. But as of right now, I can't pick against the 49ers. They've just shown me that even with their injuries, they're just a better coached team.
That's very true.
Thank you. Moving on to the final matchup of the week, the Monday game. Well, we don't know, the Steelers-Titans game, but for the predictions video, it is the Atlanta Falcons going to Green Bay to take on the Packers. Chris, let's hear it.
Oh, I feel really bad for Falcons fans because they've been just repeatedly kicked in the nuts in the fourth quarter all last 2 weeks. And, the Falcons look good all the way up till the fourth quarter in each game. And, I like Matt Ryan. I like him a lot. Like, he's a good quarterback. I think I had him in fantasy a couple of years. He did good for me. But the Packers just somehow find ways to win. I don't know if it's, the discount double check coming back from the grave or, it's just something. But I don't know. The Falcons are going to somehow find a way to lose.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Tanner?
All right, look, man, you got to give it up to the Falcons for last week's performance, bro. I've never seen anything like that before. I mean, I've seen 28-3 before for y'all that know, but, like, besides that, Falcons actually broke an NFL record last week. You want to hear about it? The Falcons are, and they should be proud of this one, they are, from ESPN, the only team to blow a fourth quarter lead of 15 points in consecutive games in NFL history. So, I mean, if that doesn't say anything about the future or anything, terrible performance. You got to give it to the Packers. They've been playing well. 3-0. They're going to do 4-0. We're going to have the Falcons 0-4. And that's just how it's going to go. And they're going to be tied up with the Giants 0-4.
Yeah. Did you guys see what was trending on Pornhub last weekend on Sunday?
No, I didn't.
No. Oh, well, I'm ashamed to know this, but what was trending was Dirty Birds choking on Big Dick Nick. And God, that what we did watch where the Falcons choked that game away was pornographic. It should not have been viewed by anybody. It made everybody feel dirty. The Green Bay Packers, I feel like they basically escaped with a win against the Saints because the Saints started to get their groove back just a little bit, but it was well earned. I picked them to beat the Saints, and I'm picking them to beat my not my Falcons. I hate the Falcons, but I'm picking the Packers to beat the Falcons. And that's going to wrap up our picks. But DJ and Ben both sent me their picks. So, guys, I'm just going to go ahead and read off their picks. And after each person, you could go ahead and tell me what stands out and what you would like to comment on. So for Broncos and Jets, Ben is picking the Jets to get their balls busted even more. So Broncos are winning. Saints over Lions, Buccaneers over Chargers, Jaguars over Bengals, Vikings over Texans, Seahawks over Dolphins, Steelers over Titans, Cowboys over Browns, Cardinals over Panthers, Bears over Colts, Ravens over Washington, Rams over Giants, Chiefs over Patriots, Bills over Raiders, 49ers over Eagles, and his upset of the week is the Falcons over the Packers.
Who was this again?
This is Ben.
Bro, you got a drug test on what is he smoking, bro?
I think he likes being in last place.
He has not picked the Packers to win once. and I understand he's a Vikings fan, but he
likes to lose.
I guess so. He really likes having his balls busted, apparently. All right. Well, DJ's picks. He's picking Broncos over Jets, Saints over Lions, Buccaneers over Chargers, Bengals over Jaguars. So he's finally picking Joe Burrow to get that cigar. Texans over Vikings, Seahawks over Dolphins, Steelers over Titans, Cowboys over Browns, Cardinals over Panthers, Bears over Colts, Washington over Ravens. Nah, I'm just kidding. Ravens over Washington. Rams over Giants, Chiefs over Patriots, Raiders over Bills, 49ers over Eagles, and Falcons over Packers.
Ooh.
They're smoking together, bro. What are they smoking? They're hanging out smoking something.
Ben's being a bad influence on DJ this week. Oh my god.
You know, we've been seeing that for the previous weeks where DJ's like, yeah, me and Ben, we're going to be fighting over the jersey. And they
didn't they both go 8-8 last week?
Yes, they both went 8-8. DJ's record is being terrible.
Yeah, they're fighting over the joint, bro. That's what they're fighting over last week.
If you guys remember, I said the loser is going to get a bag of hefty trash bags. So one of these two guys really has a lot of trash they need taken out.
But it's only a third week, though, so we got a lot more.
Fourth week, man.
Oh, fourth week, yeah. I mean, we still got some time. They can still come back, but we got to be really off our game, and they really got to be on theirs.
Yes,
unfortunately, with us and our picks, it's like we keep picking sweeps, and all of our picks are very similar. So it's like to gain traction, you're going to have to go against the grain at some point.
Just like last week with my Dolphins. Everybody chose, the Dolphins aren't going to beat the Jacksonville Jaguars.
It was a Christmas miracle, early Christmas miracle.
Freaking Ryan Fitzpatrick had that beard dyed white because he was Santa Claus in September.
Chris, how confident were you that the Dolphins were going to win?
Not very confident at all.
Okay.
I don't know if it tells you anything. I didn't even watch the game, bro.
Yeah,
it was on
NFL
Network. So
and then I was surprised when I saw the score at the end. But I was like, hey, go Dolphins. I'm not a Dolphins hater. You guys know what I think, bro. Don't take me seriously.
Well, do you guys have any closing remarks before I wrap up this video?
Don't do drugs, kids.
Yeah, just look at what it does to Ben and DJ. Stay away from drugs.
Don't do drugs. You go 8-8. And you'll pick the Falcons over the Packers. Don't even do it.
Yeah, stick to the drive rub, everybody. It's much better than drugs. But with that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, that's the final score. Thank you and good night.